Okay. So, ever since Trump passed what he passed, right? The whole 6-3 judges and all that, I see a lot of FBA coming online celebrating, saying, turn in your passport, saying it's time for you to go home, saying Trump just solidified indigenous black Americans and their rights to the land and all that. So I'm just wondering, like, does this mean we have been arguing with dumb people called FBA? Because the whole basis of the argument was you said you're not African. You said you're indigenous to the land. You said you were here before the white man showed up with slaves. So why are you celebrating about an executive order, 14th Amendment, that was passed for slave children, children of slaves? I thought you're not from Africa, you're indigenous. So how are you a child of a slave then? How? You guys will celebrate anything, even your demise. I swear to God, you black Americans, anything the white man says, right? Contrary to Africans or any other person, you celebrate. Even if it is at your own detriment, you celebrate. Now FBAs are celebrating 14th Amendment for slave kids. And they say they were not slaves, they are indigenous. You guys need a hug, bro. You need a hug. You see, black Americans get upset when the white man calls them the N-word. But they feel comfortable calling Africans monkeys, the M-word, right? You see, you black Americans need to stop acting like you were dropped or fondled with at a very young age, right? Because right now you're acting like the right wing of left lunatics. You understand? Because right now, the FBA is doing the same thing the white supremacist structure has been doing for so long. For so long.
And I'll leave you with this. You can wrap up in it as a blanket, go to sleep on it, because this is the kind of truth that's going to be waiting for you in the morning when you wake up. If black America feels so comfortable, and this is to who it applies to, it's not all of y'all, but it's a lot of y'all in my comments disrespecting foreign blacks, and I'm going to have to bring you back to reality. If you're doing so much better than foreign blacks and you don't want them in this country, why can't you fix the fact that you're still double-crossed in the penal system? You're double-crossed at these jobs. You commit a crime in this country as a black person, you'll be given 3 to 5 more times the sentencing than someone who's white. So it confuses me when y'all get in my comment section speaking as if you're privileged white men, but you're facing the same hurdles of discrimination the rest of us are facing. I don't understand the crisis in this country. Look at Miami. Miami is the only place in this country where a black woman, black American, so this pertains to you, black American, 35-year sentence, appealed it, got life. Miami hands out life sentences, no chance of parole, to blacks who commit certain crimes like it's candy on Halloween, among other things. Among the discrimination that they face that's outside of the penal system, the job system. Y'all sit here and you holler about systemic oppression left and right every day we log in, but you want to do that to anybody who's foreign and black? Wake up. You ain't better than us and you not above us. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter if you're this kind of black or that kind of black. If they could have it their way, they wouldn't have none of us here. And before I go, not to mention, back in the day, it used to be you had to work twice as hard to be seen as half as good. No, not today. If you're a black American, you have to work 5 times as good to be seen as a quarter of decent compared to your white counterparts. So that's one piece of tea you can clock. Not to mention, black Americans are the highest race in the country fired for stealing time and things that are looked past when there's someone white in the picture. Okay? Then you want to blame and say Haitians and Latinos, they're taking your job. Haitians are Latino, by the way, but you say Latinos are taking your job. I'm confused at the identity crisis here.
So there's a video going around right now on Twitter and Instagram. I can't show it on my page because I'll get violated real quick. But in that video, you have not one, but 2 Mexicans calling a black cop the N-word. Nobody around them tried to stop it. Nobody around them tried to check that shit. And that's the problem. Y'all think y'all have the right to say that word, but in the very next breath, have the audacity to ask black people to come and stand with you? The audacity to ask us to put our fucking lives on the line for you? To risk going to jail for you? Motherfuckers treat Afro-Latinos like shit, like they don't exist. What the fuck on God Green's earth would make us think that you give a fuck about us, about our safety? Even in the midst of them snatching you the fuck up, you still can't curb your fucking racism, your anti-blackness. Then you want to make social media posts weaponizing Tupac. You give a fuck what Tupac said, bitch, y'all on y'all own.
The 14th Amendment when Donald Trump said that the 14th Amendment was for the babies of slaves, he did not mean that he was supporting your FBA black behind. Y'all, FBA people are the biggest coons I've ever seen in my life, and it's embarrassing. Why are you out here on the internet talking about Donald Trump said that the FBA that the 14th Amendment was for the babies of slaves? He said something so spiritual. He really is sticking up for us. That's the truth. Y'all keep trying to cosplay our culture. Look, African Americans, we have a culture. We have our own African American subgroup culture. We do. Anybody who tries to deny that is weird. But just because African Americans have our own culture does not mean that we don't have ties to Africa. African American culture literally originates from our ancestors who are displaced West Africans. And we created a land here. We created a community here. And the more you guys try to dishonor your ancestors by coming on the internet and saying we have no ties to Africa, we've been here for 400 years, we're not African anymore, we're American, you sound slow. You don't know why you sound slow? We built this country by force. We were forced to build this country. We were forced to do this. We were forced to become entertainers. We were forced to do it, and we did a damn good job doing it. We did. That's why I love being African American, because we pushed through some shit. But to deny your ancestral heritage, to deny where you really come from, is so annoying to me. Being xenophobic towards all these Africans. I see y'all like, oh yeah, deport the Africans. Deport them. Send them away. They're xenophobic. They don't like black Americans. A lot of Africans love black Americans. And if they could send you back to Africa, if they could find a way to do it, they would. Liberia, prime example. They tried before. You don't think they'll try again? Like, I just want y'all to sit on that.
Here comes a new challenger.
Well, we don't want them here.
They're your brothers.
They're not our
and
brothers.
sisters.
They're not our brothers.
They are.
If you are born in America and have lived there for 300 years, you're no longer African. Those are Americans. We don't need them.
We don't need
They
them
were
to develop.
taken away, unfortunately, but they are Americans. We will develop by ourselves. Yeah, we have the capacity, we have the will, we have the resolve. We don't need them. No.
I totally agree with you. Thank you so much, sir.
So I'm hoping that people were able to see the clip of the technically what I'm going to deem as the most important clip, which is the two Africans on the motherland, right, directly in Africa, and the male was asked specifically, about black Americans, and these are your your brothers and your sisters, yada yada yada, all that type of good stuff, right? And oddly enough, they both agreed in unison, stating that they don't need black Americans. They are not needed, and they don't want them there at all. The African gentleman stated that black Americans are so far removed, 4 or 5, whatever, hundreds of years so far removed, that we are no longer a part of them. It is impossible for us to be a part of them, right? And people act as though that things like this don't exist. You have a lot of people out here that want to specifically tell black Americans, like the young woman in the video, that, oh, there's tons of Africans out there that love black Americans, and for you to deny your heritage and to deny where it is that you come. We're not denying anything. I've stated commonly before. I'm not sure. Like I said, I think it's more so like a new generation thing. The younger generation, the people that's in their early 20s and whatnot that don't really know much, they're coming up and specifically trying to state to everybody else as if they know more, when all they have to do is look back at a lot of these television, these talk shows that's been out for like the last 20 or 30 years, things that are documented before they were born. And they could easily see how black America has commonly, pretty frequently, if not all the time, have tried to celebrate Africa, embrace Africa, love Africa, empathize and sympathize and value and respect Africa a variety of ways, and all to get shut down, all to get told that they don't need it, it's not enough, what can you do for me, all to hear stories of now of black Americans going over to different places in Africa and they are getting overcharged versus their African, as they would like to say, brothers and sisters, versus the white Americans or the Europeans that come directly over there, they get charged far less because for whatever reason they feel that if we're coming from America that we automatically got it. We're like millionaires. We got, you know, hundreds of billions of dollars, and we could just cash them out. Everybody. We could just uplift, you know, Africa and do that and do this, right? And again, it's quite weird to hear a variety of people, again, try to down talk Black Americans in a variety of ways. And these same people expect Black Americans not to say anything else. They expect us not to give the exact same energy. And I keep trying to tell people that Black Americans are tired. We are tired of trying to be the vessel of holding in everybody else's animosity or fear or a type of hatred and all this other. We're tired of it. As the young woman tried to, you know, state, and so many others before her have tried to say that Black Americans are xenophobic against those who are outside of Black America, and that has just not been the case. Again, I feel as though that a lot of people are disingenuous when it deals with these conversations, and they're not being real enough. Black Americans are the most welcoming group on the face of this planet. We will give you the shirt off of our backs. In certain instances, we will even offer up our homes. We will welcome you directly in there. We will try to uplift you. We will try to rebuild. We will try to place many things that are positive within the vessel that may be broken, that may be shattered. We will do a lot of things that in some cases, some cases, we will do more for those than we would actually do for our own families. That's how much we would actually give to other individuals that are reflective of us. But do those things get talked about and mentioned? No. Do those things get highlighted? No. Will people make videos about that? No, they won't. The only thing that people seem to do is that, as an immigrant, when I was around you Black Americans, you guys are calling me this and calling me names and all this other type of stuff and as a Black American, I would just like to let you know that comes part of the course. Growing up, I was made fun of by the Black Americans. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, I just don't understand how it is that people are on this whole woe is me, tiny violin, type of deal when this is something that normally takes place in Black America. Like I said, y'all eat up every other bit of our culture, but when it deals with growing up around Black Americans, you act as though that this is not something normal. We've been showcasing stuff like this for the last 20, 30, 40 or whatever years when it deals with mainstream media, when it deals with the movies directly out here, or even some things that may be written in magazines, or maybe going farther back, if you want to go back to audio recordings. I'm sorry, going back to vinyl, right? Again, we've done all of this. This has already been out there. Again, you absorb everything else in a culture, but then you want to be shocked and surprised when that lands directly on you, and now you want to portray yourself as the victim instead of getting with the whole game and throwing something back, trying to be quick directly on your feet. It's crazy work, diabolical in nature. But again, going back to the other video, as I've stated before, and it took me a while to get that one clip. I was literally, this video would have been done eons ago if it just wasn't for that one clip. And I swore I had this clip. Now I made sure I have it. I made sure I have it so that I can just throw that up there whenever. But yeah, like I said before, it's crazy how Black Americans are being talked to, because we told people standing 10 toes down that we were not going to help other people, because a lot of people just run and abandon whenever it is that they're able to get what it is that we said that we were going to deliver. Everybody just abandons us and they just run away and they act and they go back to, business as usual. We don't got time for that. We do not have time for that. And we're tired of other people trying to tell us like, oh, we were there for you and this, that, and the third. That's cool. Let me just give you a clap. Kudos to you. You out of history. You showed up a few times. Ooh, whoopee. Great. Congratulations. Now, historically speaking, let's see how many times we can count that Black Americans have shown up for everybody else. You're not going to match those numbers, and you never will. because we will forever have those numbers in the rafters on the boards from the beginning of time all the way up until the end of time. As stated before, Black Americans have the type of heart to want to fight for other people because we've been through certain things. But it gets to a certain point in time where people will misuse that heart. They will mistake that heart for weakness. And we're tired of people trying to mistreat us and deem us as weak or try to look at us as being naive. So we're flipping that whole thing. And now, since we're flipping that whole thing and everybody realizes how quick we're actually doing this, now everybody has a problem. Now everybody is throwing their hands up and they're praying and kissing the feet of, King Charles, and they're praying to Sky Daddy in order to rectify the situation. But because none of those two Caucasian options are working, your last resort is to fearmonger Black Americans and try to tell them, well, if sooner or later they're going to come directly for you, what do you think is going to happen if they can figure out a way? It's always this if they could figure out a way to deport you. Guess what? I guess they've been trying to figure that out for the longest time possible. Don't you think that the people that enacted slavery, the same people that quote unquote went over to Africa, did the whole transatlantic slave deal and all of this other type of stuff back and forth, don't you think they would have actually just done it because they did everything else? You're talking about the same people that created a nuclear bomb. They sat up there and dropped those directly on Japan. You're talking about the exact same people who enact war just because they can. They intervene into other people's countries, into other people's businesses. They instigate quite a bit. So we're dealing with the people that literally take action. So you mean to tell me that, history speaking, out of all of the action that they have taken, in the success that they've had, you mean to tell me that this is the one moment in time where they can't find any success? You mean this is the one moment in time that they cannot enact any type of action? That's a little bit weird, don't you think? Or maybe, or just maybe, just follow me here, just maybe why that's not happening is because they're telling you exactly who Black Americans are. Because the thing I've realized, and again, this is, I don't really have a dog in this fight, but this is me looking at the whole thing, right? Historically speaking, dealing with the primary source, who are Caucasians, and looking at history, they will lie about a great deal. But amongst those lies some type of truth. And irregardless on whatever it is that they have stated to everybody, no matter what type of fear-mongering, hatred, racism, all this other type of stuff, the one thing that has always been a consistent is that they make sure that Black Americans are here, right? They'll have their disagreements and all this other type of stuff, but they'll make sure to put everybody else out because they know that they can, which would then mean that those people obviously are not A, indigenous, those people are not B, native, or C, those people originally just weren't here, right? Or all three. But oddly enough, that just has not happened out of 400 plus years and all that other type of history. That just hasn't seemed to be the case with Black Americans. And now because Trump has stated the obvious to a lot of people, because a lot of people lack knowledge and history and research, people are mad because they can't use the same rhetoric. They can't use the exact same war cries like, oh, we're all in this together, this, that, and that. No. Trump specifically told you what it was. And y'all don't like that. But yet a lot of y'all or people that ended up having, some type of citizenship here that look like you, fit your description, that are from your lineage, voted for Trump. Because a lot of you guys thought that if you voted for him, that it would place you above Black Americans, that it would 100% teach us a lesson and show us who is boss, and it would put you closer to the edge of being the next greatest pet. And then within that, you guys turn around on social media and you want to tell Black Americans that, oh, you guys must really think that, if he gets everybody out of here, that you guys are just going to be next in line to rule and all this other. We never said any of this. Never said any of this. If anybody made it this far into the video, and that last statement that I made is going to be very clear in the next video that I put out, because there's a live stream that happened. I'm breaking down a live stream right now, and there is a Latin woman that specifically was going into full victim mode and trying to state that Black Americans were trying to enact certain things along with the United States government towards her people that took place back in the 1940s, right? Back during, like, you know, some World War II, you know, type of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not exactly sure where they're getting this information from, or where they're pulling that from, but that is crazy to try and place Black people within that same realm. Like I said, the stuff that people are saying at this moment in time is wild, and it's all because Black people aren't helping. All because we're not helping. And this is why a lot of Black people continue not to, because people just don't learn their lessons. People just don't understand this. Maybe some things that you want to say just should not be said. You should just keep it, you know, close to your chest. Keep it on the vest. That's it. Don't speak out loud. But I guess some people are going to learn the hard way. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed and stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.